Hey YouTube and subscribers, just want to give you an update. I know it's been about 2.5 weeks since the last video. It's been pretty busy. I have a busy life, work. I'm sure you're all aware of this. You all have the same lives, right? Family, work, personal time. Can only get about 10 hours a month on the car, and that's doing it at night to prepare for a graveyard shift. That's twice, so about 5 hours each time. Today, I managed to squeeze in about 2 hours outside in the shop, and that really did help out. I did manage to get the clutch installed. So I'm going to show you a video of an unpackaging on some timing belt components, and then we're going to move on to the clutch. So I hope you like the video, and I hope you subscribe and like. Thanks. So we're going to do a little unboxing. We've got a few items that I went ahead and gathered up over the last few weeks. I didn't do any work on the car from the last video, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and replace the timing belt, and we're going to go ahead and go over some of those parts that I purchased. So I went with Gates. I'm a fan of OEM parts. If you can get them within your budget, fantastic. If it's not within your budget, go with a name brand that means something behind their name. So I went with Gates. We've got ourselves the TCK 226, and this is the timing belt, bounce shaft belt, and then your two idlers with a spring. It does not have the tensioner, which we have upgraded to a manual tensioner. That's probably the best thing you can do for these vehicles. Included in this purchases over the last few weeks, I went with a walk blocker from KS Tune. Went ahead and decided that was probably the best thing to do, since I want a bit firmer belt. So in this package, I'll open that up. Looks pretty nice. It's like something you'd get from a, if you're baking an item in your oven. But overall, some warranty information. Looks like we got the installation instructions, and then the two belts. I'm a fan of Gates. I think their products are good. I think that the belts, that their hoses in particular, are good products. I'm not going to spend $200 on just two belts when I can spend $100 on two products, get belts, etc. So as you can tell, it came with the idlers and the pivoting point here with the idler wheel on there. It'll have the walk blocker, so I went ahead and purchased that. Got it for a reasonable price. I think that will be a good upgrade to where we're at with just stock for future endeavors. Next item, I went with a new water pump. I didn't really feel like it was necessary to actually redo a lot of these things, but I figured I might as well. The car has been waiting on other parts from ESP, which, understandable, it's a custom product, so you have to wait. So anyway, here we've got our Gates official here, nice, separate packaged. Got ourselves looks good quality. I think it'll I've never had any cooling issues whatsoever. One reason I wanted to do the timing belt and water pump replacement, I've never had any issues with any of the pressures, oil pressure, water coolant pressure. Never had any issues with any of those particular items. But I did want to replace, say, the thermostat and the radiator hoses. So I went ahead and decided I might as well go a little bit further, and I paid $22 for this Gates water pump on Amazon, shipped to my house, item number 41046. To me, that was an extremely good deal. And then the timing belt I got on Amazon as well, with all those set items. It was $70 for the timing belt. Something we'll discuss further down the line. Went ahead and I couldn't really find a Gates particular item. I couldn't find the Gates to this, but there's Daco, and it's just the seals, the cam seals. We got your crank seal, and then your balance shaft seal. So I wanted to go with something, it's a good brand name. If I couldn't find a Gates, I could certainly find a Dayco. And you can see the number's been worn off. Here's that receipt. Dayco item SK0027, SK0027. So here's this. I got this for 20 bucks. Pretty good deal. So far we're into it. What, 70, 22, and another 20. That's pretty cheap for a timing belt, and I'm going as far as I can. Another item, and I don't know if you've ever seen any of the reviews on the walk blockers from KS Tune, but so we've got ourselves a walk blocker. We'll put that on, and if you've ever seen it, go out there, look at a video, see how they install these. They actually use JB Weld. I've used JB Weld on a few things, never hurt me once. Not that I would use it on, say, like a crack in a block or repairing a piston. But here's a couple of the items that I purchased just over the last week or so that I wanted to go over and give you guys an update. OEM, I would have loved to have won it, but I'm not going to pay twice as much right now. That sounds like it. When we do an official, genuine rebuild of this, then we'll talk about it. So that's it for that. As of now, I'm going to begin looking at getting this clutch. I'm going to get that clutch in today, I think, if I have time. We'll go ahead and see what we can do to get that in there. We got a little bit of work to do. We'll clean that surface area up, double check our torques on the flywheel. And I got about an hour I can spare. And I think we can clean up that clutch and get everything going. The transmission's just chilling there, all cleaned up, ready to roll. I did purchase Honda manufacturing specific manual transmission fluid, which is what I think you should go with. So if I get any work done on the clutch, I'll go ahead and update that to this video. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, so I went ahead and double checked just to make sure that I did get the 76 foot-pounds on the flywheel. Verified that. Now there is an instrument, a particular unit that actually attaches to the housing of the block, then attaches to the flywheel. It's called like a ring gear holder. It's from Honda. If you have one, man, you got connections. I don't. What do I use? I use the front crank, and I have that tool I've showed in other videos, and that is there and designed to fit in there so you can get that 19mm bolt. I use that with my bar to hold it in place while I get my 76 foot-pounds. I just wanted to give you that. I double checked it. We're going to clean the surface of the flywheel. Now I think I might have a small itsy bitsy drip coming out of that hose, so I just went ahead and wrapped it. Why do I think that? I saw a little bit of what would liquid be, and it ain't oil, so it's got to be coolant. So I went ahead and wrapped that. We're going to be replacing these hoses, so I just wanted to give you that. Why is that there? Well, that's why. So we're going ahead and clean the surface area. We're going to clean all this metal down here with the parts cleaner, some brake cleaner. All we have to do is clean that. The pilot bearing is already installed. We're going to go from there. All right. So I know you're not going to be able to see all of this, but we're going to try to give you a little bit of what we're doing. So here we have our competition clutch, segmented stage 3. We're going to be putting a little bit of high temperature urea grease, as specifically stated by the manufacturer. And here's that grease. And the part number is 08798 TAC 9002. So it looks like you do not need a ton on the center. You need a very small amount, very almost unnoticeable. So I put a little bit on, and now we're going to be using the alignment tool and placing this. Try not to touch with the grease on your hands or anything like that. Try not to touch the flywheel or the disc itself. Best thing to do is just cup it in your hand as best you can and use the alignment tool. She should be nice and firm for you, not going anywhere, nice and lined up. This is all competition clutch. This is how they've stated to install it, as well as the manufacturer. When you look at the instructions, they all say the same thing, with the exception that they go into a little more detail from competition clutch, saying don't put too much. So don't overdo the grease. Do not overdo the grease. You've got a rotating assembly. It's going to splatter that stuff everywhere if you're a little too liberal on it. Okay, so we've cleaned up the next set of components. We've got the bolts cleaned up for the pressure plate. I went ahead and removed the manufacturer's protective lubricant on the pressure plate itself. Clean that up. Hopefully use a lint-free rag, or you might have a few pieces. I got brand new gloves on because I don't want to touch anything if I don't have to. And then we're going to line this up. With the dowels. It might take a few tries to find your dowels, and then you can bolt this puppy up. Only goes one way. So it will take an attempt or two to line it up to the proper location. Once you got it though, you got it. Like I got. I'm going to double check everything before I proceed. Make sure that the dowels on all three locations are lined up. Now we've got these 12 point, we've got 12 point, 6 of these 12 point, 10 millimeter pressure plate bolts. So all those are going to be torqued down, and that will conclude our activities for the day. I did put a tad bit of Loctite, just because I like to do that. And it'll hang tight, just to get them in, and then we'll sequence it. It's starting to rain pretty good outside, so we're going to call it quits. I ain't ready for work. Once we get these torqued down, we'll be good to go. Let's set this puppy on which way. one to go. Now these are torque down. Flywheel, you have your 12 point, 17 millimeters, or 76 foot-pounds. Pressure plate is a 10 millimeter, 12 point, and they're down to 19 foot-pounds. So that's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna torque this puppy down, and I gotta get ready for work. So if you guys are liking what you're seeing, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Have a good one.